Okay, so I moved to a little bit shallower water. I'm in 85 feet now, and I went back to the chirp. I'm on high chirp, sensitivity set to 72, and I switched lures as well. I was using a small little spoon, and now I'm using a longer lure. It sits horizontal in the water, so it's a little bit picking up a little bit better. It's still kind of at the limit of the chirp and what I'm happy with. One thing I'd like to see is you can only zoom in 4 times. On the HDS units you can zoom in 8 times, and that really helps. The other thing I'd like to see is if they could flip these 2 screens. So if we could move the zoom over here and full chart over here, that way we'd take advantage of the amplitude scope in the zoom. And that's definitely important. I've found when you zoom full screen, you will be able to use the amplitude scope. So that's something hopefully they can change, or even just move the amplitude scope over here as well. But the one thing I have found is just playing around with different settings based on the lure you're using. That will really help. I'd say based on what I've seen today, about 85 feet, 90 feet is probably going to be your maximum for chirp to get good detail. After that, 200 kilohertz just in the standard frequency works a lot better. I'm going to drop down my spoon again here, this small little spoon, just to show you the difference between what I'm getting with this lure and what I'm getting with the spoon. I'm not going to adjust any set. So those are the 2 lures. The top one is the one I just had down, and this little spoon is what I'm going to send down now, just to show you the difference of how they're going to be displayed on the screen with the high chirp. Okay, so settings exactly the same. You can see there's a fish down there as well, and you can see how faint that spoon is picking up there. It's at 80 feet. Now if I go and adjust the sensitivity, if I turn that up, it does pick up better, but you can see it clutters up the screen quite a bit. And the best settings I've found: noise rejection low, surface clarity off. And if I go in and change over to 200 kilohertz now, you can see right here's where it's switched, and now I have much better representation of my lure, and probably leave it right around there. So I definitely wouldn't trade this chirp for really anything else that I've used. There are a few flaws with it that could be addressed with software changes, so hopefully Lowrance does do something along those lines. But the performance of it in shallow water and the options you have with high chirp and the standard 200 kilohertz, I definitely still think it's one of the nicest units out there right now.